King Alcohol has many forms by which he catches man. He is a beast of many horns, and ever thus has been. For there's rum, and gin, and beer, and wine, and brandy of logwood hue, and hawk, and port, and flip, combined to make a man look blue. He says be merry, for his good sherry, and Tom and Jerry, champagne and perry, and spirits of every hue. Oh, are not these a fiendish brew?
Hey!
Do what you do there, Dougie.
Howdy ho.
Fresh, Brendan, whatever we call you. Did we give up on the nicknames?
Yeah, a long
Other
time
than mine?
ago.
Okay, because you can't. You
unfortunately,
haven't been able to spell
I ironed
mine.
it onto my shirt, but other than that,
Whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, but you haven't been able to spell my nickname for 3 years, so it doesn't really matter.
I'll check my underwear real quick.
Oh, it's Sunday.
His name's Sunday.
Maybe, yeah. All right.
Well, it's another episode of Blind Pig Confessions.
We started a weird one.
Yeah, it was
It
weird.
happens.
But we are in, is this South Bend or Mishawaka? I don't even know where we're at anymore. Mishawaka. We were in
It is
Mishawaka.
Mishawaka.
It's the same thing.
Pretty much.
It's like Canadian ham and
Way to
bacon.
prepare.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But we are in this. I've been wanting to get in here. This is newly open. Maybe a month? Little over a month.
Little over a month and a half.
We were in the Hop Station Craft Bar in Mishawaka, and amazing place. I think for just about anybody who likes beer, and there's so much to do in here. But we have the owner Casey on with us. Casey, glad to have you. Glad you had us.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
Yes, absolutely. And we have some guys who haven't been with us for a while. Of course,
Well, we have a couple lost little piggies.
we did some lost piggies.
You know, we found him. We had to rescue him from I believe it was from a
Eye doctor
promotion, eye doctor or something, or I don't know what he was doing, but he was hanging out on a street corner.
We hope it went well.
Yes.
Yes.
Gentlemen, how are you?
Good, Warren. Good to have you back.
Yeah, thanks for coming to my neck of the woods.
Yes,
You
it's been a while.
know I'm not allowed to leave the county, so you're like, we're gonna be here, we're gonna be there. I'm like, oh, well,
I'm not still. Yeah, I still can't do
the
that.
damn ankle bracelet keeps me pretty close to home, so I'm really excited. You're right, like
Dude, you really shouldn't talk about your wife like that.
right. This place is 2.4 miles from my front door, so when I thought you were gonna be here, I'm like, yes, I'm in. I'll be there.
Yeah, we thought we'd be quick, but Ryan forgot where he was at, and we kept driving. Finally, the guy from Grand Rapids goes, I thought you guys said this place was close.
Yeah. But I'm glad he's not here because I'll make fun of him.
Yeah.
While he's not on the microphone.
you-
How do you not know where anything? Do you on a phone? Yes. Well, you know where everything is then.
We were
literally everything.
We were bullshitting and talking about music, and we just kept driving.
Well, you're playing on Instagram or texting.
There we
Mickey,
were in
or
Sturgis, and I was like, fuck, I think we passed the place.
we were talking about vinyl, and of course Jerry's back with us again, and it's been a while. I think
The Hooner.
I think Jerry Hooner. I think Burnham was probably the last place that you got.
Might be.
About a year ago, and of course we do have
And that
some
was
Burnham at the Hop Station. You can get Burnham.
Oh,
Brewery.
you know what? We did LaSalle. That was last
Oh,
time.
that's right. He
But-
did show up at
yeah.
LaSalle. Well, that was just a birthday.
Oh, okay.
We didn't actually record that one, did we?
You're right.
Yeah, that was
just a birthday.
We were just drinking.
All right.
How many beers did you guys have, or you fucking thought you did a podcast? That's not exactly the kind of thing you wake up the next morning and check your debit card. You're like, did I fucking podcast last night? Oh,
We usually leave that up to you.
yeah, I know.
Jerry, that's not a microphone.
Oh, there's nothing worse than going back and listening to an episode that I'm on. You can hear me just go toward the end. At the end, I'm like, I got another thing.
That's why we record 3 episodes. We
I have some
released
extreme,
2
I have
because
some
that third
extreme
one is-
viewpoints I'd like to get out here on this podcast. But you know what? Back to the bar though. I like when I found out these guys were opening this bar here, and it was that close to my house, and it's this kind of a bar. I was fucking like over the moon to get down here because one, Mishawaka needs something like this because like craft beer. If you want a large selection, usually you're used to going downtown South Bend. But now you don't have to. And Casey, cheers to you, DJ, and everybody else. This place is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got good parking too. There's a lot of parking.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is always a problem usually for like a craft. You know, it's always in some small little place where you got to park on the neighbor's lawn, or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan was actually telling me, he's like, oh, you got to get down to the Hop Station. I go, awesome. Where's it? He goes, well, it's not open yet. I'm like, thanks, Ryan.
Is he on a mailing list that nobody else is on?
I don't.
Ryan does a lot of insider trading as well.
And I think one of the smartest things you guys did for Hop Station was you got on the social media thing early because I mean, we obviously everybody in the area knows you and DJ, and then when you told us all you're opening this bar, we thought, shit, these are 2 of the biggest beer nerds maybe in the entire like Tri-City area between here, Elkhart, and South Bend, and they're going to open a place. So we all got to, I mean, the kegs that were coming in, the things that were going to be on tap, and you guys have done a spectacular job. I knew everything was on tap before I even walked through the door here. And I thought, here we go. Like, this is going to be great. And I also knew what I had missed out on because I was a little bit late.
You can tell my age though, because I was looking it up, getting the directions on my phone because I'm at least a real person, unlike your brother, who can't operate the phone. I guess
He's the only guy in the world that has the MapQuest app.
We're 6 blocks away.
Print the directions and then follow them backwards to get home.
But for my age, I was looking for. He was talking about you got on the social media earlier. I was actually looking for a website. You guys can tell how old I am. I'm like, nobody bothers with websites anymore.
No.
Screw it.
We're not on AOL.
Yeah, where's your MySpace page? Come on, and your Friendster.
Our adult friend finder. No,
Oh,
that's not a thing.
I have that app. Yeah.
Oh, only the most aged perverts do. So how long was this idea in you and your brother's head before you finally were like, we need to do this? I can't imagine how much work and how I'm a guy that gets very anxious about money.
Yeah.
I don't even like messing with my 401k and changing the like. So the idea that you would put your balls on the line and say, all right, we're all like throw all your skins in, like this was a huge undertaking. How long did it take you guys to from the idea that this is going to be a thing until you're open?
Why don't you just going to say like a week?
I mean, yes and no.
41 days.
For a few years now, like my brother and I would travel all over the country, and wherever we go, we would try to find the best beer in that area. And obviously, we don't have that here, and we're like, we need to open one up. So we've taken little bits and pieces of all these places, like Porter Beer Bar in Atlanta is one of our favorite places. They had the best seller list I've ever seen, and I think they just got rated like the best beer bar in America right now.
Really?
And we wanted to bring that in this area. I don't know.
It's been needed. I mean, I like the local beer, and that's great. But what I like about the Hop Station is you guys are bringing beer in from everywhere, and it's craft beer, man. It's about the love of beer.
Exactly.
And
we love
and
our
love
Indiana.
the locals.
Love
Absolutely. I mean, we got
Still got to have your Indiana craft beer.
I'd start with a Taxman today. I love Taxman's one of my favorite breweries in Indiana. And, I mean, you guys have it all, but I do like that you guys bring it in from everywhere.
Right. Yeah.
And you're finding good beer from everywhere.
Yeah. It's luckily we have a lot of good friends in the industry that have been helping us out. Like we're getting a lot of the one-off kegs that nobody else can get, which is cool. Usually I see somebody post up something on their Instagram. I'm like, hey guys,
Give me that.
Hey,
can I get a keg of that?
Let me slide into your DMs real quick. How you doing there, half barrel?
Hey, I saw a keg in the back alley of.
But even when it came time to find a location, obviously my wife and I were laughing when the first night we came down here. I thought, you know what? I've lived in this fucking area for almost a decade straight, and I've never been to this little tiny neighborhood, like this little corner of Mishawaka. But it's a great location because you're not too far off the main drag.
No,
right. But also, you have none of the parking problems that downtown has.
Exactly.
And it's like its own secluded. There's a dead end, so there's not a lot of through traffic. So if you're coming down here, you're either going to the restaurant across the street or you're coming over here to Hop Station. But were there any other locations that you guys looked at and you thought this could be it? But
Yeah. There was actually a good handful of locations that we were checking out and interested in. But this one, for some reason, just kept calling to us. Like, it's near downtown, like you said. There's so much going on downtown now in Mishawaka, which is really cool. With the mill opening up, there's going to be a big hotel opening up downtown. You got the barbecue place that's about to open up. Why can I not think of their name?
Okay.
Price Pig.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
So
from back in
Sure.
what up
He
in the
forgets.
Niles
From
there,
Niles
right?
area. Yeah. So why not open up here?
Sure.
We got it for a crazy good deal.
Well, this used
Can't
to be.
complain about that.
This was another bar before, right?
Yeah, so it was called Cougars with 2 O's.
Kick ass.
So it was a
COOGRRS.
it was an interesting place.
They're still welcome.
They
They're-
dot
they're-
the O's.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
40,
were
40 old women and big burly guys.
they are still
Yeah,
welcome. Please come.
So we heard about this place and came and checked it out, and I mean, yes, it needed a lot of TLC, but it had potential for sure.
Well, that's got to be a little easier to turn around a bar space into another bar. I would guess.
Yeah.
Saves you a little bit.
We
here
were
and
definitely
there.
looking for a turnkey place.
Yeah. Definitely don't want to have to fully gut and redesign something.
Right.
Yeah, gotcha. So that definitely helps.
But you got the arcade. You have a space for. You got some live music. You guys can do everything here.
Right,
So
right. September 20th, we do have a band playing here. Spaceships. We're doing an Area 51 watch party. Hopefully that's still a thing.
Watch everybody get gunned down.
Yeah.
Is that to watch all those people try to storm the Area 51
Right,
thing?
right.
Yeah.
So we're hosting a watch party. We got a custom glassware that we just made with a bunch of cool alien characters all over it that we're gonna debut. And
in a couple hours, Warren will be doing stand up on the stage. So. A couple more beers.
I'm down for that.
I don't know if there's enough beer in this whole in the whole city.
No, not to make you funny, but it doesn't mean you won't do it.
Oh, yeah, well, that's also that may be true.
It's gonna pour in the funny.
I don't know. I'm working on a great bit about not paying your bar tab. You guys should hear it. You in particular. So I walked out on a $42 tab, right?
Try it in about an hour.
Yeah.
What's been most one of the most surprising things now that you and DJ are in the driver's seat of running a business like this that's been like an unforeseen headache? Because for all of us, everybody here, like we go into a bar like this and you see the decor, you see the beers on tap and all the social media, everything goes into it, but you don't see like there are
Behind the
headaches you guys
scenes,
had to go through getting this place open, and I know there must have been a couple where you're like, fuck, we didn't plan for this. Like this isn't in the bar manual.
Right. So one of the biggest ones was after we got the keys to the place, it needed a lot more work than we anticipated when we were told like it was a turnkey bar. Like we came inside and checked it out, but it needed a lot of love inside here, which is why it took us a little bit longer than we anticipated. But other than that, like ordering beer, I hate to say it, it's a headache.
Really?
Yeah. Like we have this huge cooler and not even enough room for all the kegs that we have.
Oh wow.
And like that's a good and bad thing, but
How many taps?
32 taps.
32 taps. That's amazing.
And you have can and bottle. And you
Yes.
also like you.
And
if you want to buy a bottle of mead and have that at your table, you can totally do that.
Yeah, we definitely want people like we have a lot of bottles that are like 750s, and we want people to share. Make friends, buy this bottle, hang out.
Yep.
Why would I share a 750 bottle? I can drink it by myself.
You can also do that responsibly.
That's a good look. Leave me and my mead be.
Look at Pat sitting quietly in the corner.
One of the
Beer wench.
one of the most fun things about following you guys on Untapped and on Instagram is and I was there. I think the first or second time I came down, you and I were talking about the caliber beers you get. Not only are really really fucking hard for bars in this area to get, but you get such a limited quantity that you might come in here on a Friday and then you roll back in on a Wednesday, and the tap list is at least 50% changed.
Oh yeah, but we're flipping kegs like crazy,
It's-
so it's
I was gonna
awesome.
say
But
that's gotta be on.
It's been so much fun.
Oh,
Like,
darn.
You guys were down in Indy, obviously, and like about 450 North.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You can't get that shit up here. And
Right.
these guys are having 450 North tap takeovers.
Right.
So that takes the illegal beer shipping thing out of my problem.
Yes.
And I can just come down here and literally get it on fucking tap at a bar less than 3 miles from my house. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How hard is that? Because, I mean, there are...
Well, you got to go through every other. You've got how many distributors do you got to go through? Number one, to get some of them. Others, you can get I don't know what that distribute. You can get someone to drive you up a keg. I guess. or something,
Yeah.
But
So the 451, the day we got the keys in January, I started hitting them up like right away. I was like, I'd love to get you guys out here, and finally, it was able to happen, and crushed all 5 kegs that night. It was insane. It was like the wildest day ever. I think I slept for 3 days after that.
I bet.
But oh man, they're a blast. I think we built a really good relationship with them. So
Awesome.
I hope we'll have them in the future for sure.
cool.
Do they, those guys know what kind of, hype is for their product, outside of...
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I asked the rep. I was like, you got the easiest job in the world. Like people come to you probably instead of you having to try to sell your beer. Like,
No shit. Yeah, you just sitting as lazy boy and goddamn it.
and then I found out that the kegs that we got were the only kegs that they kegged. Everything
Oh,
else went in the
really?
cans and were released that morning.
Holy
That's
cow.
crazy.
Nice.
Only kegs. Well, besides the one that went to Bare Hands for the double tie day.
And one of the real special things about that is, all right, so they release their beers on a fucking Friday at 11 a.m. I don't have enough time to get off work and get down there, so I'm not going to make the 3.5-4 hour drive
Right.
and risk not getting what I want. So to
don't
be
have
able to
to now.
sit back on my big fat white ass and have it all come to me, that's a pretty special thing.
Yeah.
That's
Because the older
Our
I
theory,
get,
too.
Casey, the more tired I get of chasing these beers. I like to come
I
to
know.
daddy.
And you've had a few beers on already. I know we just did we emceed the Indiana Craft Beer
Brewers Cup.
and Hop Lore, and you've had quite a few of them on that were here.
Yeah, good friends.
Yeah, you got another hop lure on now.
Yep.
And these guys they're young. That's a young
Yeah,
brewery,
yeah.
isn't it? And
Yeah.
they've been going.
They're doing an awesome job.
nuts,
So
yeah.
we're actually doing a collab with them in 2 weeks.
Oh, no shit.
So yeah, us, Deer Park, and Hopler are doing a
Oh,
3-way
cool.
collab. I think it's going to be some sort of fruited beer with lactose, and it's going to be like heavily
creamy,
fruited.
fruity, and
It's going to be
yeah,
awesome.
nice.
I'm really excited. All stone fruit, so definitely
Oh,
like
cool.
my style right there.
Very cool. Is that? I mean, what brought you into craft beer? What was your?
So I grew up, or I didn't grow up, but I went to school in Grand Rapids.
A beer city, USA.
Yeah,
It was actually
yeah.
before it was a beer city. There was only like,
Back when Founders was owned by Founders.
and it was like a small little building before they
before they
you
moved
know.
to that big multiplex
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
right?
I don't even know what I was drinking back then, but I used to skateboard down
Whatever
there.
whatever you were illegally allowed to obtain.
Exactly. They didn't care.
Nobody cares. At that
Dude,
age.
it's such a fun town now, but when you go back and you see how, like, I left for 2.5 years, 3 years, came back, and I'm like, fucking none of these breweries were here when I.
Yeah, it's insane
Yeah.
how many breweries there are now, especially from when I went there. I think it was just Founders and Grand Rapids Brew Co. was-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a jealousy. It's like I could have been drinking all this stuff when I was 15 instead of just Founders. I go back on lots of drinking.
Yeah, so I brought that back here. I worked at another bar that my father owned, and brought a lot of craft beer into there, and it went over really well. And then I don't know, I drank a lot of.
Do you have a favorite style, or you're an IPA guy, aren't you?
I used to be. I'm not into IPAs really anymore. I think I've done
really?
like the full circle. I'm back.
Fucking,
into,
I'm out of here. Good night.
back into pilsners, but my main thing is I love like big, thick, chewy stouts. Like the pastry style stouts, and definitely sours. So those are
Yep.
my two favorites.
I would say that because there's probably at least six lambics or sours on, which is actually doesn't sound like a lot out of the 32 taps.
It's a
but
lot
for
of
a
them.
single bar to have
Yeah.
that many sours, goses, lambics, or anything like that, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
mean,
we
that's
can't
pretty solid.
keep them on.
I bet.
Well, it's a perfect time right now, even though it's not too hot, it's not too cold yet. It's actually a perfectly refreshing beer on a lot of those right now. The
Exactly.
Perfect time for them, I think.
And obviously, imitation's the most sincere form of flattery. But you guys have only been open a couple of months, but you have to like, there has to be some sort of influence on the taps in the area. Like they're like, oh shit, these guys are selling all this stuff. Like maybe we should carry a rosé or two, like or something, just nuts. And like
I think I've noticed that in a few places, but I won't name names.
Competition breeds innovation.
no, but that's great. But
No, it should.
And a place like this, and obviously if you're not here and you haven't been in the area a while, there was literally fucking nothing like this in Mishawaka when
Yeah.
these guys opened, which is why all the beer nerds in the area were like, holy fuck, you guys, we're getting this. And everybody knows Casey and DJ.
Right.
Like, we're like, all right, this is going to be a good thing. And you show up and you're like, it delivers on everything, every single thing you hoped it's going to be. It's
Yeah.
a fun place to hang out. There's a lot of space.
Yeah,
There-
ton of space. And,
Yeah, there are things to do. There are games to fight with your friends over, which is also they have bubble hockey, which is a huge deal.
Oh yeah, that was a must.
yeah. They have an Iron Maiden pinball machine.
Yep.
Also a must.
Yeah.
They have a pool table. Anybody want to play me? I've only been to the World Championships twice, 2 years in a row. Come on, I'll play you.
Not that he is.
I didn't
He's-
have the
he's
money
humble.
to go like you did, Pat.
I've got everything
lots of
here. It's
Star
pretty
Wars
awesome.
stuff in here.
It's pretty
But
awesome stuff.
And we haven't mentioned yet. We will talk about that more later. Maybe there'll be a nightcap before the end of the show. Is you do have bourbon.
We do have some birds.
It's not just beer. You get a little
Why
bit
you
of
giving it
everything.
away? I gotta give away secrets.
Do you have Malort? Because that's where we're
fuck.
at.
I'm
Yeah,
hoping
well.
for some Malort.
I was definitely gonna make you guys do some alert before we.
Are you?
roll
Yeah.
in. That is
Okay, well, we're not
definitely,
dumb now.
It's a tradition for here, so.
Oh no.
Well, if we have to do it, we have to do it.
No, we don't. No, I'm gonna go with no. Never again.
Jerry, what did
awful.
you start with tonight?
Tell me, Casey,
Uh,
because
you're
I
drinking-
introduced the brown ale.
Yeah, they have
Oh.
the Wedgwood dry hop brown ale. It's awesome. It's
Yeah, it's very good.
cool
Really?
guys too. I'm really happy with what they've been doing lately.
I have had nothing but lambics, sours, and gozas.
Because
so
it's hard to
far
go
today.
somewhere and find them, and you
Good
got a
choice.
few. of them,
Right.
so
Oh
you
yeah.
gotta keep trying them.
Yeah, and it's the only other thing. I'm like you. I'll take this and then heavy stouts, but I'm kind of like feeling this right now. I kind of don't want to switch to the stouts because it starts to weigh me down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Today I'm just trying to chill.
He's
a little
usually
bit,
so nimble on his feet, right?
Aren't I?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Weighs
Yeah.
me down.
The night is
He's like
young.
a goddamn ballerina
He's
dance.
gonna say He
Pat's
wants to-
calling off the 3-on-3 later.
He saw the stage and he wants to dance later. So
Yeah. We're gonna stand up a little. I'm gonna do a little recital. Just interpretive dance, just a little bit. Tutu's out in the car.
I mean, I won't touch him, but I'll watch.
What's her name?
I will watch.
Tootsie, Mom.
Whoa, hey.
You left the window a crack, right?
Yeah.
Hey, this isn't Cougars, remember?
Yeah.
but they're still welcome.
I can't believe that somebody would open a bar and be like, I'm going to call it Cougars, and I'm going to put 2 O's in it. Like, that's how we fucking get down.
Well, legend has it that it was originally called something Trackside Tavern, and they wanted to rebrand to
Class it up.
appeal to the female crowd.
We're not
so
just about trains anymore.
naming it Cougars,
They use that misspelled derogatory term for older ladies. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Come on in.
Yeah,
we respect you.
Yeah, but
Just
that'd be
not
that'd be
classy enough.
Yeah, it's like some bar wanting me to come in. They're like, we're going to call it Fat Bearded Crackers. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm in.
My kind of place.
How do I get to this place? It sounds amazing.
All right, let's. I want to take a break. Well, no, I want to, but we need beer.
A quick 5. We need. I think we need to do some flights of what they have available here, and so we can talk about more of the beer.
Which is
here.
what we do on this
That's
show,
amazing, and let's get.
We'll hit some beers we haven't actually mentioned in a while.
This show is the greatest fucking racket for a couple of alcoholics.
Fucking it is.
Well, we better try everything they have on the menu. Like research.
He hands the clipboard over, and I'm like, yeah. Just give me all of them.
Before I left, my wife's like, "Don't get too drunk at this pig steak," and I'm like,
Does she not know you?
No, then we laughed like. That's right, man.
We'll laugh about it.
Warren said, "Of course I won't.
Yeah.
I'm having Jerry drive me.
Right,
Why would
right.
I get drunk when I don't have to drive?"
I'll see. Yeah, the Uber will be here in 3 hours. Don't worry.
I'm so cheap. Instead of Ubering it out here, I'm like, Jerry, will you pick me up on the way? I gotta save that $3.95.
It's the 2.5 blocks away, or what? No, miles.
and
Was it-
I can fall asleep in this car. It won't affect my my passenger rating, so it's nice. I mean, it might. I don't know. Do you drive?
Do you drive at your age? Is that what he's saying?
I do drive.
You are retired,
He's got a
right?
special
I am.
license.
I am mostly retired.
He's the most senior person to appear on the Blind Pig's Confessions, isn't he?
Yeah, but I still look older than he does.
That's true. That's true.
That's
Yeah,
not
Pat-
a good thing,
we're-
Pat. I
we're-
just
yeah.
hit.
No.
I
We're gonna
just
still
hit
give that to
6-0.
Pat.
I still look 80. Don't worry.
Okay. You win.
79. Don't shortchange yourself.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Wow.
thanks. All right.
All right, boys. Let's get some more beer.
Beer. We'll be right back after a little bit from Taver.
Tabor.
Our sponsor. Don't forget, get on that app. Order
Yes.
your beers from around the country, just like you guys do.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Get on there and get those beers.
Cheers.
If you're a craft beer guy who can't get it nearby, do yourself a favor and log into Taver.
Hey, this is Jim Boris from the Backstep Brewing Company in beautiful downtown Crawfordsville, and you are listening to Blind Pig Confessions.
All right. Hey,
We're back.
Hop Station. Drinking beers. I've had quite a few. I won't lie. I have a list.
It's
somewhere.
hard not to here.
I have a list somewhere. I'll write it down because we need to. We do need to get people. So we need to start. We're starting to do a weekend or actually a weekly recap, not just of what we're drinking, but trying to get people to interact on the Facebook page.
What are you drinking?
Yeah, what did you drink last week that we need to try to get our hands on, or
That's always a good idea.
would like to say, hey, this was some good shit. Come up here and try it or something like that. Free advertise, free way to, hey, we've got that.
Okay, you got to have people come in here all the time. Say, hey, you need to get this. I mean, it's
Already? How, is it bad already?
Yeah, I mean, but usually it's like people asking me to get like Pliny the Elder and stuff. I'm like,
Yeah, let me get a keg of that. Yeah,
no problem.
Sure. I'll also get an entire keg of Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah,
Reserve
like,
edition.
People ask
yeah.
for like the stuff that I definitely cannot get in the
you don't have
the
Dark
state.
Lord. I'm not coming here
on
again.
tap. You don't have Dark Lord on tap? What the hell?
Right.
You suck. I thought you were a craft beer bar.
How often does somebody walk in here and they're not a craft beer person? They just hey, there's a bar, there's close, it's where I'm at, and then you have to kind of school them and say, hey, here's what we have. What are you looking for? And they kind of walk them down.
A lot. I mean,
I think you told me a great story about a guy who walked in here who was like 150 years old and he wanted he either wanted a lager or he wanted a pilsner.
yeah, he wanted Miller Lite.
Yeah, and you talked him into something great.
Yeah, and it was great. Like after he had the first can of it, he was like, "Hey, where can I buy this at?" And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And I told him, citywide is usually like they usually get some of the similar stuff that
you
we get.
just say no. You just have to keep coming here.
I did say that also. He did say he would come back. But then the best thing about it was another older gentleman came in that same night, And I didn't even have to sell the beer to him. The other guy was like, "Hey, you got to try this one if you like light beers." So yes, my job here has been done.
I've made a convert. I'm ready.
And we will say this: I do see what looks to be a sacrilege in between all the other tap handles.
Yeah, you got.
Speaking of the other one, you've got one of them. I think you've got two.
So the story about that is they kind of helped us install the draft lines.
Okay, never mind then.
And
edit. We'll try to edit that one out then, so you don't get in trouble.
Nothing wrong with having the crispy boys on tap.
No, it's okay.
Once that keg is gone, though, it will not be back here.
Sweet.
So that keg is gonna be here for like 7 more years.
Honestly, it is like the longest standing keg that we've had. I guess that's good, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Although I really want it gone.
Yeah. Is it really? Yeah. I'd like to free up a tap handle.
No, but
Exactly.
But it is funny. Like no matter who you run with or who your friends are, inevitably every group has that guy who's beer's just beer. And all he wants is what he's used to, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But to walk into a place like this and see, all right, there's that one that I know I'm gonna be all right with. Like,
Dude, we did the Copacetic Brews Cruise a few weeks ago, and old lady comes. You have to pay to get. It was a beer fest on a boat, so you're going to be stuck on a boat for 3 hours. She paid tickets. She came in. She went to and said, "What do you got? I don't like beer." I shit you not. She bought a ticket for a 3-hour boat tour. Yeah, it was a 3-hour tour, and on a boat. And
That didn't work well for Gilligan's Island.
No. But yeah, she literally she's like, "Oh, I'm glad you," because Brother Boo Probe was doing he did a lingonberry hard seltzer, and she's like, "You and the guy selling cider. That's the only place I'm going because I don't like beer." I'm like, "You're what?"
That was a huge beer that day. That was a
It was a
was it the
huge
fuzzy,
yeah. He did a
what was
lot
it called?
of it. Fizzy lifting drink.
Fizzy lifting drink. Man, that was
actually
sounds pretty good.
Broad Ripple. Yeah,
It was
he's doing.
really good, actually.
Mullen's going to do. He'll do a whole series, but this one was a lingonberry one, and he says it was very. It sells well.
That's also weird because it's a great time if you don't like the beer flavor. If you don't like beer, there's a fucking million beers out there that taste nothing like the pilsners and the lagers you
Exactly.
grew up with.
And you guys carry. You guys have one of our Ash and Elm's got great stuff. You guys have just their original cider.
Yeah,
right?
so we have their semi-sweet on tap, which is like our house cider at the moment, and then we also have about 4 other cans from them too. The
make
tart
great
cherry is
stuff.
awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. No, they do great stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have a
like
moment to talk to us about your slushy machine?
Yeah.
What goes into the slushy
So
machine?
we usually change when it runs out. Right now we have a cuvee of Anderson Valley Goza and their briny melon.
I'm sorry. So you have frozen beer?
Yes.
Hey, we got fucking hyped to this place because like
Why didn't nobody tell me they had frozen beer?
No, like you see the sign right there over the door, the Natter Days.
Oh dear God, no.
No, these guys they had Natter Days slushy. So
Yes.
Okay, I might drink that.
It was actually awesome.
It was
That I might drink.
It was incredible, but it was also the only thing people were talking about. Like in my group of friends for that couple weeks, like you fucking see what Hop Station has on tap. Like they got
They got Natter Days. They got Natter Day daiquiris
Natter Day
for
slushies.
fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
and the most
it was
incredible
silly.
thing. Well, you think it's like, is it going to be a concoction of other things that taste like it? But you guys just literally filled it up with Natter Days and let the machine roll.
A little bit. We put a little love in there.
Whoa.
But not too much.
Just a tiny bit. But dude, but it was so fun. And then you
One
did,
and done,
Yeah.
Casey.
Right.
and you did one with Natter Days and White
In
Claw.
White Claw, yeah. The Clauter
that'd
Day.
be awesome.
That was pretty fun.
Meads are good for that too. If
Yep.
you guys get,
Yeah.
have you done
So
any meads
we
yet?
will be actually. I just ordered a keg of Schramm's mead, and
Okay.
I'm gonna
Shit, what does that say? You
make
back?
the most.
Woo-wee.
That was definitely the most expensive keg I've ever seen
I can't
Really?
imagine.
by like a lot. So
Really? I don't think I've had Shrams. I don't think I've had most of the meads I've had. It's all the local,
yeah,
local stuff.
I think
so.
Schramm's is definitely the
Haven't had that
goat
one, though.
of mead. For
Where's
sure.
that from? I don't even know where that
Where's
is.
that
I've
at?
heard of it.
They're out in Detroit area.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I know Nectar, which you actually have on.
Yeah, Bee Nectar. We
And
have
they
a
got
Bee Nectar on.
great stuff.
Yeah, Schramm's stuff is fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had Shrimps. I've
And
never heard of it till
have to
now.
fix that in a little bit. For
Yeah.
Well, speaking of beer,
Yeah.
What
we
the
got
fuck-
we've got
Hey.
lots of flights to do, or
Yes, we
well,
do.
and we might not make it through all of it, but we'll.
Oh, yeah, we will.
We'll start. Do we want to? Where do we want to start, though? Do we want to start with something light and then go to the weird, or?
This is Casey's
We
choice
did
to start.
So I got quite the selection out
Yes.
here. I don't know. I guess we could just start with number 1,
Let's do it.
since we have that, which would be the Rivertown.
This one? Okay.
Yeah, so it's a Rivertown Creek.
Oh, this is the creek.
So-
So it was a Riverton. Is this one still a go? Is this the Lambic? Still a
Yeah,
Lambic?
yeah, Am Lamb or American
Rivertown
Lambic.
out of
They are from Ohio.
Ohio, right?
Oh, this is the one that smells.
Monroe.
There's got a.
Cuyahoga River.
I'm not sure what the smell is. I had a lot of trouble placing this one earlier. One of our other friends, Star, he got this, and I can't place what the fruit or whatever is in it. I'll have to look it up.
It's a boysenberry.
I think it's cherry.
I don't know. Or cherry.
It's spectacular is what it is.
It is
though.
really good.
It's
Yeah, that's.
it is. I mean, it has
It's
a
a
great nose
Michigan
to
cherries
It.
in Ohio. I don't know. And it's definitely cherry. That's good.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
It is very sweet.
Michigan, very proud of their fucking cherries.
Yes, they are.
It is really
It's
sweet.
sweet.
That is really good,
It's
Casey.
good,
What
but
was it
it's-
again?
This is from Rivertown Brewing. This is their Cherry Creek.
It's awesome.
Now, how big of a temptation is it? Because I know that, like, if I had a place like this, my modus operandi would be carry beers that I want to fucking drink. Are there beers that you carry that you're not a fan of, but you know that people need to try, or styles that you maybe you advocate that you wouldn't if it was your own private stash or your own like non-for-profit basement bar?
Most of the stuff we order is definitely stuff that we enjoy. I'm not big into the Belgian styles besides the lambic. That's definitely my weaker point of all the styles. But
Well, I thank you for having Taxman because that's
Taxman
one of my-
was a no-brainer.
I love
though.
Taxman.
Well, yeah, you can't
I
really.
love Belgians, but
Yeah, so it's pretty hard to get like a lot of good Belgian ales
Yeah.
in the area.
Oh,
Also, like from Belgium. So we did our best. I thought Taxman was like a perfect example. And then also I just poured one Phantom Boo, which would be. I think it's 22. If you guys want to try that,
Oh,
which is
all right.
another.
Yeah. So that a quick talk on that lambic though, that from Rivertown. It's in. I know there's a wine barrel in there. I checked. There's a wine. They're done in oak wine barrels because
Yeah.
that's what's mellowing out the tartness of the cherry. That's what was getting me. It is cherry, you're right, but most
Yep.
cherry tarts that come out are, they
yeah,
make
yeah.
your jaw, just twitch, and they're super tart.
Right.
That wine barreling that ages and mellows that out
Yeah.
perfectly. That is
Yeah,
spectacular.
it gives a nice little bit more complexity as well.
Yeah.
That's good job, Rivertown, on that one. For
Yeah.
the Belgian fruit lambic. Awesome.
Excellent.
All right, sorry.
Where
we at?
Does DJ have a different? You guys kind of like the same stuff, or does he
Yeah,
have some
yeah. We
different-
definitely have
Yeah.
a very similar palate.
Really?
We both enjoy pretty much the same exact beers, and
Who's the oldest?
I am,
Well, that changes everything.
and the biggest.
Whoa.
Most swole.
Where are we going
Wait,
to?
what
now?
were we drinking? I don't know.
no,
I messed it
Number
all up for you.
22, I kind of ease into that one, which is the other Belgian ale that we do have on tap. Phantom usually is known for a lot of unique styles.
There's not
Where
a,
are they out of?
They are
That's good too.
there's not a big aroma out of that.
no, there's not. They are from
He'll get there.
Soy, Belgium.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
it
really?
is a straight. Oh, it is
Yeah.
an import.
I'll
Okay.
tell you, that's
yeah.
weird. There's not a lot of aroma, but there's a huge. The big flavor, but not.
Yeah, there is.
It's weird. There's not a lot
Flavor's
of aroma.
great.
In it.
Yeah.
So now that you and DJ are like officially like in the game, when do you fucking take time off? Because I'm 100%
When
certain
can ya?
that you guys are either both here or one of you is here all the time. Do you have like
No, we have no life.
really?
Our life is here for now. It's a lot of hand selling for some of these beers. I mean, a lot of the stuff people have never heard of
Yeah.
or know about, and we are here to kind of spread the word.
You got to
and,
talk.
let 'em know.
Yeah, that's what we do.
yeah.
You got to talk about. When you do this, you got to talk about.
You know the weird thing is like when we first met you guys and you were talking about opening this place, we all got really excited. I also thought like, you know what, 6 years ago, Hop Station wouldn't have worked. It wouldn't have worked. And, like,
yeah.
but there's such and Mishawaka and South Bend, it's a small town. Very much got all the big city fun shit, but it's small enough for like the beer
Still,
nerds all know each other. But
4 years ago, I don't think it would have worked.
Yeah,
That's not even
absolutely
saying.
not.
Like 3 years ago, I don't think it would have worked
Yeah, but-
because it wasn't acceptable.
And there's a level of education now with the consumer, but also like social media has connected you with all these fucking other like-minded beer snobs, and if you're in the game, if you love craft beer, then you know like what the hot releases are, what's hard to get, so you can appreciate what Hop Station has on tap. So you see there's a 450 North tap takeover, you're like, fuck, all right, that's appointment drinking, but 5 years ago, nobody might have given a shit because the level of education and not camaraderie, but just awareness among the community. And it's the perfect bar at the perfect time. And salutations to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really fun. to watch this happen. And Mishawaka is not a big city. Like, this is a big city craft beer bar.
It's a little big city.
Like big boy selections, in a small town.
Yep.
So what's the next on tap, young Stuber?
Let's
Young
go with
Stuber.
this is a pretty fun one. Number 2, which is from our good friends at Central State Brewing. This is a lemon lime bougie water. It's the
Bougie
clear
bougie.
one.
That's
They did a
that's
hard
the
seltzer.
All right.
I think they only made like 10 kegs of it, from what I think I was just told
Have you
yesterday.
been just flabbergasted at how the hard seltzer's just taken over?
You know what
yeah.
though?
Oh,
I like. I'm okay with some of the craft hard seltzers. They are easy, but they're putting in some
They have their
different
place.
stuff too. They have their place. You're right.
Low
They're lighter.
calorie, no carbs.
You get the people in here. You get the old ladies who buy tickets to Beer Fest that don't like beer,
Exactly.
but they get something to drink.
In my own neighborhood, or my old neighborhood, the Belmont on the corner of Miami and Ewing was like where we went. And I went in there just a few weeks ago, and I hadn't been in a while. And 1/3 of their craft coolers were gone, and it was fucking all hard seltzer.
Oh yeah,
all
that's a
of it.
little. That might be going overboard.
But everybody's got one now.
But that's
because
what they're selling.
Yeah,
Me
that's
and
what
Ryan,
sells.
we were talking about that last time we were in there. Like, holy shit, all the craft beers are going, and it's seltzer. So
Yeah.
and that could be a summer thing. And
But
that
also,
could
when
be
you
something
compare a
different.
5% like Truly to a 7% 280 calorie like Two Hearted, you're like, this is why I'm fat.
Well, this also hits to
Like shit, man.
Well, it sounds bad. This still also hits to a different demographic. This gets more females in the door
Right.
to a craft, to a craft style, because there are a lot of educated craft drinker, whether it be men or women. It's actually a pretty good. Granted, there are more men, but there are a ton of educated girls who know about craft beer now, more than there obviously were before. This gets you in the door, gets some of them in the door that come with their friends who, I don't want to go to that bar. I don't like beer. Well, don't worry, we've got some other options for
Right.
you,
I think we're even going to make a cocktail out of it, to be honest.
That's a good thing to do too. You can do
Make
shit
some-
with that.
Yeah, it's
you
pretty
know?
versatile.
And you don't have to tap Zima.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a Zima, but whatever. Technically, these are all Zimas. They're just a different flavor.
Yeah.
Look, the point is, it gets the alcohol in the bloodstream and makes life easier to deal with. Like those,
So
It's a good
Zima
seltzer.
came out ahead of their day, I guess.
They did, didn't they?
Yeah.
no, they had their fucking day. Like
Yeah, a day, I think, was about all it was. Yeah.
Hey, can we start putting Jolly Ranchers in these? when does that stage
no.
hit? Because that was a Zima thing.
Are you gonna have a Cesarp cuvee? Like,
I guarantee that's probably going to be the next big thing.
There you go.
we're gonna make some craft lean right now.
We're just gonna There's gonna put seltzer in the thing, and then a whole bag full of Jolly Ranchers, and just let it spin and freeze.
Yeah, I think. Well, who just announced that they were doing a sour version of it?
Shit.
Some brewery announced that they were doing a soured seltzer.
Really? I don't know that.
Wow.
How do you?
Curiosity's going to take over.
Yeah, curiosity's gonna hit me on that one because a sour's. I don't know how you change
how you
it.
But
do
it's great for innovation though, because like think about in the last 6 years, the amount of styles and beers. Like
Oh yeah.
6 years ago, Brute IPA wasn't even a fucking thing,
Right.
and now everybody's got one. Hazy IPAs weren't a thing, and now it's
Right.
like,
People were thumbing their noses to it and saying, "We're not, that's not a style."
Dude,
now
it's-
now
Oh,
they're
yeah.
now it's in the competition.
yeah, but
you have
but it's
to,
super fun. It's just like
Yeah.
it's a great time to be a craft beer enthusiast because it's never been more plenteous and more accessible. Like you got a place like Hop Station in downtown Mishawaka where you can get hard to get, illegal to buy on your own maybe, and get them shipped
Yeah.
through the mail. Beers like you guys had the last time I was here was just racks of cans of King Sue.
Yeah.
You have a great draft selection. Your can selection is incredible.
Yeah.
You've got Windmill, and that's
I don't get the Sue's one. Before you go on to the next, I don't get the Sue. You've got the pseudo Sue. I've
Yeah.
had the pseudo Sue.
King Sue is a
But
different animal.
even then, even the pseudo Sue is it's supposed to be huge, and we
Not a
had
fan?
it. I'm not a fan. I was just like, it was a good beer. There's nothing wrong. It was great beer.
Yeah, I think it's.
But I
one
didn't
of, like,
understand the hype of it. It was.
I think it's the best for its style that you can just go out, get on the shelf, no problem.
Yeah, I was amazed. But again, you get a lot of those where no offense, Rheingeist is a huge. Everyone's Rheingeist is coming. And I was like, eh.
You heard it here first. Pat was like, "Fuck Rheingeist."
No, not my style. Other people like it, and that's what we do on this show.
But King Sue is incredible. But to get it because it's only been available in Indiana for what 6-8 weeks.
Yeah, it's
King
only
Sue's
been a
available.
couple
Oh,
months.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So to be able to walk into a bar and get a can of it, that's
Unbelievable.
A week and a half
In
old
Indiana.
in
Yeah.
Indiana.
You didn't have to wait 20 years like a Yingling. You know, yeah.
Well, it was a bit of a mind fuck, but also like you walk into here and on any given night there are cans of windmill being tossed around. This is, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I am. This is the only place in like you can get windmill outside of what, Dyer?
Probably. I think you can get them down in Deer Park in Fort Wayne.
Yeah. So like,
And then there's a couple places here. Like Citywide, I know gets cans of it, but
By the way, the management does not condone throwing the beers around in the hop station.
but,
yes.
but they're doing fantastic work, and you can get that just on a random fucking Thursday.
I know. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty funny
like,
now. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's
Windmill's good friends of ours, so they've been hooking us up really well. I think I got one of their beers over here too.
and you just
32?
break down all the border, all that crap, all the in between and shipping, and I really wish they
really,
because
because off the air, you're just talking about building a huge wall and how you can't wait.
What? Well, yeah, but not for alcohol. No, but no. At least Indiana seems to be getting a little more relaxed on their imports, and and it's you're able to get a lot of stuff. Like we mentioned Taver, you like that. You
I
like
don't
that app
personally
too?
use it. A lot of
But
my
you've
friends
seen
do,
it. Yeah,
and I
it's-
buy
it's
some stuff
freaking
from
awesome.
them using it. But
Being able to get that even alone, now you can get stuff from all over.
Oh,
and it's-
yeah.
Indiana laws seem to be relaxing a little bit on
Oh,
the
yeah, they
imports because they were. I mean, look how, like I said, look how, just as a joke, look how long it took Yingling to get in, and everybody was,
Right.
But now
It
beers, it takes a year, less than a year,
Well,
and it's coming in.
it doesn't make sense either because you think in 2019, like the consumer's dollar is all that fucking matters to anybody. But it doesn't. Like, we just got Sunday alcohol sales, like bottle sales here in Indiana 16, 18 months ago.
Yep.
Like, I moved here from Michigan and thought, what the fuck is going on? And
Gotta wait.
I'm sure
Can't get beer on Sunday.
we'll be dead last for legal weed. I'm
Yeah.
like absolutely positive. But you would think that the consumer's need to spend money on that product would automatically just negate any kind of border distribution barrier. And like,
Nope.
And we were at Double Tie Day a couple weeks ago. We talked to one of the guys from the Indiana, the Drink Craft Indiana, the beer lobby guys.
yeah,
Super fascinating dudes to talk to because there are headaches brewing for craft beer in Indiana, and like,
Oh, I bet,
and,
yeah.
Well, and just things that are happening you have no idea. You give no thought to, like,
Yeah.
who's working on this. So we met these guys and found out all this stuff and thought, shit. Like, this guy's job is to get up every day, go to work for, like, on behalf of the craft brewers lobby in Indiana and petition for, we want this, we need this, we get this.
Even just we see all the new breweries all the time, which is great, but it's hard to open a brewery, and we don't. People don't realize how hard it is to open a brewery. Or I mean, they have some of these places take a couple years just to start brewing their own beer. I mean,
Some of them should take a little longer.
but it's amazing that the laws and everything that hold people back from brewing frickin' beer and having.
Well,
it.
yeah,
I mean,
we're still the remnants of our prohibition
just
and
here,
our
but it's everywhere,
the
but yeah,
Puritan,
it's
It's the man keeping us down.
And also, ladies shouldn't be able to wear pants.
Yes.
So what's the next beer in the flight we're gonna try?
let's go for number 3 from Decadent / Evil Twin. It should be the stout looking one right here.
Okay.
Peanut butter and marshmallow.
Oh, that's what I wanted to try.
Nice 11.8% ABV.
Casey, what's one of those flavors? Because I know everyone's dumping any kind of dessert product they can get into. What's one that you think would work great that you've had a couple of beers and thought this is like Little Debbie Swiss rolls? Like, is there anything that just doesn't work as an adjunct for some of these heavier stouts?
I don't know. Like, I honestly like most of them. I love those big sweet pastry stouts.
Just gotta do it
Those
right.
are-
My problem is when they fake the pastry stout, though.
Okay, yeah.
It's all extract. They're trying to assemble it rather than literally, dude. Who was it who just did like 10,000 pounds of Little Debbie oatmeal frickin' marshmallow cookies? Somebody
I
just
don't know.
did. Somebody just did that, and they're like,
There's a
just
place
put 'em
in
in.
Texas, 903, who did a
2-0.
no 903. Got a couple. There's a pastry, there's stout and an ale, and it's cinnamon roll. And Mickey and I tried we tried the ale last. It's cream ale, and then they threw like 500 pounds of just fresh dough cinnamon rolls in this. It was amazing.
And I'm sure you'll
awesome.
you'll remember the name of the brewery, but one that the hype was really legit for, but it tasted like absolute shit. What was the brewery that did the Lucky Charms beer?
Oh,
I didn't
man.
have any of that.
Fucking weak shit. Like,
Everybody
really?
stood in line
Well,
for like hours.
Yeah, and the
and
online
so
hype was
mad.
great. Like, a buddy of mine traded like some Dark Lord variant to get a 4-pack, and It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ratings were
Guardian
not good
put
on it.
the
No,
Guardian
pie
stuff
that-
was really good
that
up
was
in
amazing.
Muncie. They did the sugar cream
sugar
pie
cream
beer.
pie. Oh my
Oh,
god,
that
They
sounds
literally
awesome.
just dropped 100 sugar cream pies. into
crust
the-
and all, just threw it in
all
there.
the
It was-
crust and
but it was
everything.
Hey,
awesome.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it was, and it was spectacular. It
not
was
to-
bright, crisp, and clean.
Not to be a total homer, but Hoplore with their Amish crack, where they take the rise and roll
Oh, yeah.
donuts, and that's a staple around here. And you're like, Amish crack? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
But when you taste it, you get like the back end of that is totally those donuts from Rise and Roll,
It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I love that beer.
which could be the most
Perfect.
unhealthy donut maybe that's ever been created. Like, you eat two of them, you're like, I shouldn't have done that. And even as a fat guy, when you realize you made a mistake,
Yeah,
it's
when a
bad.
fat guy when a fat guy goes, I shouldn't have had that many donuts. it's a powerful donut.
Brulink did the Oreo.
Or Brewling did that, and what was funny though for them though,
'Cause
they
had to
didn't
go
even
buy
just
'em in
like
the grocery
yeah,
shop.
they went to the grocery store and just literally went down the aisle and just scooped up all the Oreos. They didn't like order them off Amazon and get them delivered. They took the time to go just take out the whole Kroger.
So you know the
shit.
people are like, no guys are fucking
Yeah.
high.
Somebody's been smoking, especially when you do it at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's people that can do it right, people who don't do it right. Brulink does that crazy stuff. Right Brain in Michigan does some crazy stuff, but they do it well.
Copacetic does
And
it.
you can do stuff and not do
Manahan
it well.
does- Manahan does that. Manahan does it every
some wicked
frickin'
beers,
day.
and he does it well. He knows.
You get a sushi beer. We had that. He did a sushi beer.
That was with it wasn't
With,
that combo
Taze.
Taze.
Yeah, it was a collab with
Yeah.
Taze. It was a sushi beer. Granted, none you're gonna it wasn't a big one, but it tasted. It had wasabi, cucumber. It was done on a cereal base,
could
rice
taste
cereal.
everything in it.
It tasted like a California roll.
Could I have a sample before I order the entire
Yes,
thing?
of course,
please?
yes. It was,
All
The
right.
That
sample
sounds
was
wild.
perfect.
but it was super. It was just still super unique, and but it wasn't. Nothing was off-putting about it. It's not one that was going to go.
Yeah.
But it's sold out well. It sold well at the Brewfest, and again, crisp, clean, something different.
Yeah,
on the light side.
it's not gonna take over Coors Light today.
No,
but
So what?
Few.
so what's the next beer on the tasting list?
I don't know.
it's-
Let's go.
Are we going with the weird one? Because there's a weird one.
You
I've
wanna
been
go for the
staring
weird
at.
one?
Rockin'-
Yeah,
rockin'-
Yeah, let's get with the
rock'em
weird
sock'em.
one.
Yeah. So this blue one.
The beer is literally freaking blue.
Go for it, Pat.
This is something that we were one of the only places in the whole state that got cans of it, and it's been a hot seller. We only have a few cans left, but it is from Untitled Art, and it is called Rocket Pop. So they brewed it with the what are they, Rocket Bomb Pops or whatever they're called.
Yeah,
the red, white, and blue
red, white, and blue.
popsicles. Pretty sure they just took off the handle and tossed them all in the while they're brewing it, and you can
But if
definitely
you leave
taste
the
it.
handle in, you get a little woodsy, oaky flavor too.
Maybe-
How is it, dude? Isn't it awesome?
It's actually not bad. It's actually pretty good. Is it a lamp? What is it?
No, it's just a sour.
Okay,
So,
it's just a straight sour. It's
Well,
not,
more
it's not a
sweet.
Brett sour. It's not definitely
No.
not a Brett
that,
sour.
that,
is it?
that nose though is all popsicle.
Oh, it is. It's
Yeah.
all popsicle nose.
I would guess probably the style is probably a Berliner.
Yeah.
Or some sort of kettle
It feels
sour.
like a little Berliner. Kettle sour Berliner Weiss.
It's the aroma is very sweet, but then you get a little tart, and it's
There's a
nothing.
little tartness
it's,
to
it's
it now.
balanced. There's nothing overpowering.
Nothing wrong with it. It's
It's
just
cleaner than I thought it would be.
It's literally
it does
blue.
taste like a.
You don't
It
see
tastes
those
like
a lot.
something you'd get on the Enterprise. That's what you
Yes,
meant to say.
I did.
I can drink this in a Star Trek episode.
Well,
Fucking virgins.
if you draw, if we,
They're everywhere.
yeah.
By the way, this is a this is a Star Wars.
Well, I know.
bar,
I was
so
getting ready to go there. I'm like,
Lamb up.
if you drop a little something to make this creamy, this looks like blue milk from Star Wars.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
just,
yeah.
it's got the same blue. Just
Yeah, Jerry,
make this into a reconstitute this back into the frozen slushy machine. You can turn it back into a bomb pop.
delicious.
It's awesome.
It
They've,
really is.
they've deconstructed the bomb pop, made it a beer. Now you can put it back in the freezer thingy and make a.
Bring it
Yeah,
back around.
we thought about throwing that into the slushy machine.
Yeah.
Dude, wait,
It worked perfect.
What are you gonna think when you're opening up that keg of Shrams and you're dumping it into the slushy machine? Like, fucking,
Why am I
what am
doing
I doing?
Yeah. It probably will be pretty stupid, but
I'm gonna
Hey.
take the most expensive keg I've ever and just dump
Yeah.
it into the machine.
Nothing could possibly. What could go wrong? Who
Right.
knows?
No, but again, like this is the only place in the city, to my knowledge, that you can get Untitled Art in any form, can, keg, or otherwise.
Right.
It's,
Oh, yeah,
it's
we
not on
definitely
tap anywhere downtown. It's not on tap anywhere down in central Indiana either.
No,
Dude, their beers are fantastic. Like I haven't had one from those guys that I'm not just blown away by.
This is awesome. I thought this was gonna be gimmicky, but it's tasty.
Well, the last
And it's clean. That's the part. You just
it's-
think you're going to get syrup or something, and it's very clean.
Yeah, well, the last beer I saw looked like that. It was a green beer. It was green, and it was I can't remember. It was at the we did the Round Town Olympics. It was a Gatorade beer.
Gatorade beer.
Yeah, it was a Gatorade beer. They literally just used Gatorade instead of water.
Yeah. Do you remember who made that?
I don't recall. I gotta
Wasn't
find.
it Elm Street?
You're right. It
probably
might have
was
been Elm Street.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it
Elm
was.
Street.
I saw
Yeah,
they
but
did
Gatorade beer was
They did
pretty
an
awesome.
Saturday beer too recently.
Did they? Wait, hold on.
But I think it was an IPA though.
How do you do an?
Hey, dude,
How do you do a Natterday beer?
I don't
like
know.
if
from
it's
a,
already
from
beer?
a purely just like craft fan standpoint, isn't it fucked up how everybody's just taken to Natterdays?
Oh, I mean, I drink. the
I've
crap
never
out
had
of
one.
it.
I tell you what,
I won't lie. I
I've
love
never
it.
had one.
the first time I came in here, Casey, you were telling me about Netter Day. Like, you guys got fucking Netter. Like, what? And he's
They're-
like- he
they're
goes like-
incredible.
He goes, it's not that bad. I'm like, all right, I'll take your word for it.
Gave him
And
some-
about
finally have
2
one?
weeks- I think Black Circle had them on. I think
didn't have
they
one.
were drinking them over there, and I was
Yes.
like,
You're missing out. I'm gonna make you try that. That
saw
and Malort.
Horace-
it's actually it's pretty good.
It'll surprise you.
You're the
Yeah.
one who said last week, "Nah, I don't want to. I don't drink that shit."
I wouldn't. It's actually pretty good. There's nothing
Hey,
wrong
dude,
with it
like-
at all.
like-
I mean,
I've got a pool, and this is the absolute best thing to have cold in a fucking cooler for people.
Oh, yeah, for
summertime.
For
Like,
other
yeah.
people who don't know what real beer should taste
No,
like.
dude, Pat,
No,
I'm telling you, like I
it's-
must have had on the 4th of July, like we had a big 4th of July party, and I shit you not, I had probably 13 of these things.
yeah,
They're low ABV, so you can cruise on them.
yeah,
but all, like,
it's
you-
crushable.
It's,
Yeah,
and it's good, and I mean, diabetes is going to get all of us, so just fucking
Embrace it.
Yeah,
why fight it,
exactly.
man?
If your toes haven't fallen off
Yeah.
black and fallen off yet, then you're fine.
So what's the next beer here on the flight?
Let's go number.
I think we scared 3 old ladies out of here. Casey, they walked in. Did we scare them? Wow, were we that are we that noisy and rowdy?
Let's go number
You
10.
were putting down Natter Days, and they just left.
All right, number 10 is
They
what?
thought it was still.
that
They
is-
thought this place was still called Cougars.
Yeah, probably. We've had a few of them. This is the Camp Sandy Shore, which is Top and Goliath brewed a shanty.
Yes, I have.
And
That's what I have right now.
They didn't bottle or can it,
That's pretty fucking great.
It's a pretty good
dude.
shandy, isn't it?
and it surprised me. I had to order
they
it.
didn't, they
Well,
didn't
you-
bottle the shandy, really.
You hear the word shandy, you think what? Leinenkugels, right? You're
Yeah.
like, fuck, all right, here
That's
we go.
really good.
That's
nice pick.
that
Pat.
is-
wow.
yeah,
This is
it-
perfect.
Yeah,
way more than a cut above the Leinenkugel shit.
Oh yeah, that's I told you. I'm not. I like rattlers, preferable to shandies, but occasionally
thank you.
this I had done sours all morning, sours lambics. I was trying to transition myself up to something else, and shandy's kind of middle of the road.
Yeah.
Without keeping putting the sours, and recirculating back through all the sours I already had. So
Yeah, they're still
It's a
light,
movement.
refreshing, and
Yeah.
it's just summertime. And
Yeah, that's
sweet.
fantastic.
I don't know. I just thought it was really weird when I saw it on the order sheet. I was like, Top and Goliath made a shanty. At first, I thought it wasn't correct.
right.
So I emailed them. I was like, is this true? Because like usually they're known for their IPAs and their stouts.
Right.
They do a fantastic job of both of them.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, this is real. And I said, I'll take a keg of it.
They
I don't
killed
think-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What was that?
Yeah, that's impressive. I'm very impressed by
Well,
it.
and the other fun thing about this place is this is the only place in the city you're going to find this many varieties of beer on tap, keg cans or otherwise.
Yeah.
Like you got
Yeah.
a craft shandy, you have a craft hard seltzer, you have craft cider, you have IPAs, double IPAs, you have stouts, you have sours, you fucking have all of it, and it's in one shot.
The one thing I like about the craft industry is I like that it has normalized day drinking.
I thought you were going to say fat
Right?
guys with
This is
beards.
the best
but all
thing
right.
That too, but yes,
I was gonna
fat
say.
guys with beards and normal and day drinking. Literally, I mean, think about if before craft beer, you had your bars and people would go to the bar, but it was to you were just watching sports and you were having your 64
they were the
ounce.
drunks and the alcoholics. Now we're
Or it was, or if you were
Now we're
in,
classy.
If
Now
you
we're-
were,
yeah.
if you were in the bar that opened at noon, the regular, it was normally kind of a dive bar. If you were in there at noon, you're the guy who's still there at 2, and that's just kind of where you live. But to be honest, craft beers and all that have
He's looking
kind
at
of
you,
normalized. It's kind of normalized day drinking.
Absolutely, it has.
I mean, you can come out and you don't just have to come out for
Well,
sports or to come out and get
I think
blitzed. You
part
can
of
come
it-
out, drink a few,
exactly.
go do something else.
I think
Right.
part of it is because what you just say. You drink a few. You're not gonna go. People go belly up in a bar at noon and drinking. something, middle
Else.
lighter. They're just sitting there laying up at the bar to drink, and they don't give a shit. But people drinking craft beer are typically in there for the beer, and they're gonna have a couple, and they may move somewhere else and go somewhere else, and have a couple beers somewhere else, and they're not getting just shit faced from,
But there's nothing like or toward about, or it just, if there was. I grew up with
Did
it.
you just
at
say
least looking-
untoward?
Yes.
Fucking loser.
Hey,
Jesus Christ.
from the guy who said plenteous.
Well, hey, plenteous might be a word.
Mine
in the next few
is
years.
an actual usage.
He was
of
like-
the phrase.
It made my day.
He's such a
meant to-
bigger geek than I am.
I meant to say plentiful, but I've had a few. But I mean, hey, that's
I like the fact that he waited like 20 minutes, because that happened like 20 minutes ago.
I wanted to work it in appropriately.
all right. Jerry Huner, huge grammar Nazi. One of the other funny things
I'm
about
watching you, Vaughn.
you talk about normalizing day drinking. In the last 10 years, also it's given birth to the term session. Like session wasn't a thing 10 years ago, and now like. Session is code word for it's totally fine if I can crush a couple of these at 10, 11, 12 in the
All day
afternoon.
session, yeah.
Yeah, but it also as a consumer it gives you if you haven't had it before, you're like, oh, this is a sessionable sour, sessionable IPA. You're like, all right, and that kind of dictates how you spend your money. But that's another one of those fun things. That's just where you direct your dollars.
Right. And it's true. I even look at that when I go into somewhere earlier. Usually I go, I usually look at session beers or I'm going to look at something a little bit lighter. Hey, it's a 5 or 5.5. I'm going to take the session beer. It's 8 p.m. Oh shit! I gotta switch.
I can hit the 9%ers now, and
Anything is
I gotta switch over.
anything really is sessionable. It just depends on how long your session's going to be
and how big your liver is.
Yeah, I might have like a Saturday night. My session might be an hour and 40 minutes long because it's double Two Hearted time at the Cluck Garage. And then Casey, what's the last beer we're going to try in the flight?
The last one would be number 29, which is, I know we went over a little bit about this earlier, Pseudo Sue, which is, I think, again, one of the best IPAs I think we can get in this area on the shelf at any time.
I love it's that, to me, it's a breakfast beer. It's got that nice citrus and grapefruit hops, and it's amazing.
It's clean. It's easy to drink.
I think I like it even better right now, just being sitting out a little bit.
What are the more
usually I have this ice cold, and I think this is even better right now.
One of the most fun things about this whole hazy style and craze is that this is just all done with purely just like hops and chemistry. This is our guys getting together and doing this. And it's like I had it was a sour in Arizona a couple weeks ago from Wren House called La Fresca, and it was only 3.2%. It was one of the best beers I've ever had in my entire life.
Really?
Brendan, it tasted like straight up Sunny D.
No shit.
And I wanted to just.
Where was it at?
I was in Phoenix. It's a place called Wren House, but they've done. It's their big.
The WRE. Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. It's that tiny little little house
very
place.
small. Yeah,
But
very small.
they did this beer a couple of years ago, and it fucking took off for them. But they do different. Like the one I had was the mango orange variant, but it was. To like a beer that much that is that low ABV says a lot about the quality of what they're doing.
Right.
Because
it's good. It's good. Who gives a shit what's in there?
As a rule, if it's not 5 or better, I don't fuck. But
but there are people who seek out the high ABV or the IBU. And it's like, if it's good beer, it's good beer. Who gives a shit?
I quit
man?
judging anything by that because I know for a fact though too,
not
high
good tasting
ABV
beer.
is dangerous too. Because the moment you start getting over 8. If you're not good at what you're doing, that beer tastes like shit.
Like driving? Oh wait, what?
No. But you know what I mean? It's you get a 9, 10, anything that starts moving up there. Bad quality. If it's not crafted right, it's chewy.
But I like drinking those when you get surprised and get like a 14, and it's like, holy shit!
This is awesome.
So I like having those surprises.
Well, but also like the problem
beer.
I find myself in as a consumer, and I've only been able to shake myself out of this the last 8 months to a year, is I equate money spent on beer with ABV.
Right.
If I'm gonna spend what is that on transient, $20 on a 4-pack, this shit better get me fucked up. Is like my that's what I'm thinking. But when you start tasting some of these higher quality, lower ABV beers, you're like, well, that's all right. It's not too bad. It's not a bad place to be in. But dude, it took me a decade to realize
yeah.
Well, definitely, because that's where we came from before. Was what's the cheapest beer I can get, and how much do I have to drink to get fucked up?
Right.
That was like how Ice House came around, and all in the early days, they were higher ABV, slightly higher, and ABV than regular stuff. But
Y'all got Red Dog on tap?
yeah,
Hoo-ha, Red Dog.
Have you had the Central State you have on? I know Central State's kind of been popular for their sours, but they get a great stout. I love their stouts.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't really know them for their stouts. At least I always
is that
I always
called?
talk about their sours and stuff. I love Central State stouts.
Yeah, I think my favorite from them is Laser Raptor by far.
I don't know if I've had that one.
Oh, you need to have that.
Laser Raptor.
I don't think I've had that one.
Alright.
I think I don't know. Central
It's a
State's got some
raptor
great
with a
beer.
freaking laser beam.
I've had the. I won't say it because there's.
No.
It's
What are you gonna do?
No, nothing.
Say it.
No,
Do
no,
it.
I don't want to talk about it.
That's all right. You're editing the show. I'm not. So
I will say this, Casey, because I come in here and I'm not an IPA guy, and everything we've had so far up to this, I loved.
Yeah, good.
And then
Good
this
stuff.
first IPA is clean. It
Well,
is
so-
like you
yeah.
say, it's a breakfast kind of thing.
It's
And so-
it's definitely a great IPA that you can.
It's almost like a beer mosa. To me.
Yeah.
But I'm the guy that you got to educate, and that I think you're doing a good job of saying, well, just try this. You know, I know
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like your Miller Lite, but just try this.
well, he's had experience, getting old guys to switch over to new
Yeah.
beers. So
Yeah,
you know.
I mean,
But it's really great.
Yeah,
I enjoy
Jared-
enjoy trying to like challenge somebody like that. It's the best part.
Jared's a definite example of. I mean, when you came over every night with your cooler of, I mean, obviously your heaters, which put everybody's dicks in the dirt.
another show.
But
Quit talking about it.
but you drink Miller Lite and
Yep.
I mean, and proud of it, and who gives a shit? And you weren't a big crap beer drinker, but
Nope.
you enjoy more and more you drink, and you're finding stuff that you like.
Well, and like the seltzer, I didn't know anything about that. Awesome.
It's actually not bad.
Yeah.
There's
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
wrong with them. It's 3%. It's going to take a while, but
Actually, it's something
what a
like
some of them are
five,
really?
5.5.
Yeah, I think this one's 5%.
can I still call that a seltzer?
Well, Truly's 5%, and I know that White Claw is what 5.
Why do you know all
This
this?
should be in the 5%
Because
range.
because my wife has fucking this last summer gone gaga for hard seltzers, and I will tell you this: the profit margin, whatever those guys are making on
Oh,
those,
it's awesome.
Well, that's what like Mullins was saying. He's like, I can crank out a batch of I can crank out a couple kegs worth of seltzer in no time.
Mullins
Yeah.
can crank me out anytime.
You heard it here, Mullins.
You're a giver, Brendan.
Do you want
Hell
to try
no.
the one last
Love
one?
John.
Oh, do we have one more?
Yeah, number 32, which is from, again, our buddies at Windmill Brewing, Top Crop and Drop It. It's an experimental hop that kind of gives off like a flavor profile of coconut, which is really, really awesome.
This is cool.
one of the fun things about going there is like every brewery has its own vibe. Some places
Yeah.
are like trying really hard to be super hip. Windmill just seems like we got this place. Come on in, fucking just
Yeah.
hang out.
There's a cat
Yeah,
there.
a cat walking around. You're like it's not a big deal.
I've never. How is is it a kind of a smaller? I mean, or
It's very small.
It's pretty small.
You know, I think they would call that intimate.
Yeah, I like
small
that.
and intimate.
Yeah,
Small
but,
and
we
intimate.
went there on a beer tour. I want to say like 7 or 8 months ago, and dude, exactly what you wanted. Like you want to go there. They have a ton of bottle and cans ready for sale to leave, and it's really fun and warm.
They do a lot of specialty stuff.
said it's really fun.
Yeah, you might hear some background noise. I'm not sure, but somebody started playing skee ball.
Pat, try
God
this.
damn it, Ryan.
Have you had Windmill before?
No, I have not.
Oh,
Where's Windmill out of?
Dyer.
Yeah. I think they do a fantastic job at milkshake IPAs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they usually do fruited, lactose, great milkshake IPAs.
yeah. Their meme series is like.
Oh, the memes
you
are
guys,
awesome.
you have cans of that here even.
Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
not
have
bad
to-
at all. Well, yeah, no,
But
that's got a good
that's,
clean flavor
that's
to it.
another feather in the cap of Hop Station is I don't have to drive to Dyer. I can just roll 2 miles down the street.
Exactly,
I
yeah.
get-
Oh,
So how,
babe.
I mean, did you reach to them, or I mean, how did that happen?
Yeah, so we kind of just hit them up and we're like, hey, I mean, I love what they do.
All right.
They did an awesome job, and they came and did a little event, and we kicked off and became good friends. So now they hit me up and they're like, hey, this is what we have.
So you basically just running around phoning them like fanboy, like
Oh,
straight
yeah,
up like
yeah.
fanboy at all these breweries, going, I love you guys.
I do it
Can I
pol-
have some of your beer?
I do it politely, but
Or would you say discreetly?
just kind of discreetly too. Yeah, but
So like, what's one brewery you've reached out to that you would love to have in here, but just you cannot crack through that shell of whatever their social media people are?
as far as what we see in distro, I don't think there is one yet. I would probably like to get some more of the smaller.
Casey's had them all.
Actually, Black Circle.
You haven't got any Black Circle yet?
Nah.
Ah.
I know they read my message, but they did not reply back to me.
They left you on red. That's fucking hard, dude.
I mean, I know they're small. I get it. And
they got good. They're good stuff though. They got a great scene.
And the most fun thing for you is as you guys are open longer and longer, and you've got kind of a rep built, like people are going to start eventually sliding up into your DM.
That's the plan.
Like, what up, girl? How
Make
you doing,
my job
Casey?
a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got this keg of this triple Berliner Weiss.
Yeah. I'll give it to you.
It'll happen.
Just sell it.
I mean, it's already. I mean, you've already been here a couple months. You're already starting to see that. I mean,
Yeah.
So
there's been a couple breweries that have contacted us and hooking
That's
us
good.
up. I know we just got
awesome.
asked to do a Old Nation tap takeover. So
Yes.
September 20th,
Ah,
M43 and Boss Tweed will be on tap here.
shit. All right.
Next
Dude,
show is
we're
September
in.
20th.
Welcome to the
Oh,
state.
shit.
Is that a tap takeover when it's only 2 out of 32?
Who cares?
Or a feature. We'll call it that.
Dude, as a guy who's sick and tired of fucking driving to Niles and Edwardsburg, yes, Pat, that is a tap takeover right here.
That 15 minutes is horrendous.
Oh, dude,
Fuck you. I can't even get it.
Like, I'd go to visit like Holland or Grand Rapids, and I'm like, and you see it on tap, you're like, oh wow, I gotta have that. But, like, it's just right up the street. Like, it should be available. Why isn't it available here? And then every once in a while, like Ryan, your brother will go to a bottle shop, and he's like, yeah, I got some Boss Tweed, tastes funny. And you flip the can over, you're like, yeah, it was canned a year and a half ago. But to get that shit fresh on tap in town, like, good.
Yeah, I'm
good
going
on
to
you
make
guys.
sure that it's always going to
Yeah,
be fresh.
yeah.
We push the hell out of that.
All of our
That's
IPAs
awesome.
need to be fresh.
Tell the rep
please.
to bring a bunch of merch.
Yeah.
2X, and I wear a 7 5/8 hat.
And by merch, he means extra keg.
Right?
All right.
Yeah.
We got to wrap this show up,
Casey,
buddy.
amazing.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
You may do a little half-hour, after-hour stuff. Get your brother on. I mean,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But
He's
because
a
we
little
want to talk
shy.
to him.
We got a couple of bottles we
Hey,
should pop to. So.
Before we end, like, shout out like all your social media. Where can everybody find anything they need to know about Hop Station?
Definitely Hop Station Craft Bar on Facebook, and Instagram would be
The Gram fam.
something. I don't remember our handle, to be honest. It's probably Hop Station Craft Bar, all one word.
It is.
Hashtag it, add it,
Find it.
follow it.
Get here.
And
Yeah, definitely got to get here.
Oh, and
It's
on Untapped.
awesome.
Subscribe to us on Untapped so you
There
can
you
always see what we put on tap.
do you guys have any more of those football jerseys on the merch thing?
I actually just ordered some more today, so
Fuck. That's like the holy grail of Hop Station merch, dude. Fuck, I got like a hat and a shirt, and like every time I'm in, I'm like, football jersey. We're just the fat guy one.
Maybe we'll
big
do
guy.
He's just sitting outside the front door going, You got any jerseys?
No, like we've talked about it before. I'm the guy who has like 6 or 8 beers in a place. So like, fucking, what's your most expensive merch? I want it.
yeah.
The biggest markup. Put it in my bag.
I'll take that sign on the wall.
Yeah, right.
All right, boys, get the
Hey,
Hop
guys.
Station. I think stay tuned for maybe a little half hour of maybe a little
that'd be a
bourbon.
different
Maybe
show.
a
You
little
might-
bourbon at the Hop
Yeah,
Station.
we'll see what happens.
Whoa.
And don't forget, they have skee ball.
They do. They do. Ryan's turning it up.
All right.
All right,
Cheers.
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 Hooray, boy. an inland sea.